Okay, everyone. So I am actually here to answer a question that I get on almost a daily basis. And I've been with Mac now for about a year and a half. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Doherty, and this is my seeing eye dog, as I am a visually impaired individual. And his name is Mac, like the Apple computer, not with an X. So the question I get almost every day after I tell somebody no, you can't pet the dog, after they very nicely ask, is why. And I thought I'd use this forum to answer that question because in those scenarios I know that I often get confrontational and I often get put on the defense, if you will. And I thought I'd just take a deep breath, make a video, and answer that question here. So I'm going to dive right into it and start with number 10. Number 10 is the worst of the reasons, and I actually hate saying this, and I don't want you guys to think that I view my beautiful puppy here that way. But number 10 is Mac is my property. He is, I don't view him that way. He's, to me, a very crucial member of my family and a working partner. But if you were to hurt him, maybe you didn't know that he has allergies in his ears, yeast infections in his ears, and you were to touch him, maybe pull on his ear, just touch him the wrong way, and he yelped or you hurt him, we're going to have a problem. And because he is my property, the law or the courts are going to agree with me. So that's more protection for yourself than anything else. So especially if I've said no, or he has a sign, which he does, that says please do not pet me. So number 9 is when we are working, he's working for a reason. He's working to get paid, and his payment is praise. And for you to praise him, you first don't know if he should be getting praised, and second of all, you don't know how to properly praise him. If I touch his side, I might be telling him, good boy, and hurry up, let's go faster. If I slowly stroke him, I might be telling him, good boy, let's calm down a little bit, though. We're getting close to the side of the street or whatever. So, and this is a reason not to talk to dogs as well. It's always best to ignore any working dog so that they can concentrate on their job. Dogs can get distracted rather easily. So why test them? Their training is wonderful, wonderful, and they're probably not going to get distracted. But why test them? So number 8 would be crowd. I call them crowd distractions. If Max starts to think that it's okay for people to pet him because I allow people to pet him, it's going to add confusion to his training because he was first trained not to let people pet him and to steer clear of that. If it gets to a point that is so bad that it slides, that I keep letting it slide, he'll start going up to people and ask to be praised, and then I'm not getting to where I need to. I might be going up to people that aren't safe. I might be going up to people that are afraid of dogs, and scaring them. And we don't want that to happen at all either. So, number 7 is if we are out together and he's in harness, he's not there for you. Whether it's on a sidewalk, whether it's in a grocery store, whether it's at a department store, a mall, a movie theater, whatever it might be, he's not there for you. He's there to get me from point A to point B, and he's very, very good at his job. And if I were to stop and let everyone pet him, I'm going to be even later for work, because God knows I'm always late for work as is. Or later to my appointment, or later from getting my daughter from the daycare. And I have an agenda. We all have agendas. So just, if I say no, or we say no, it's not because we don't like you, it's because we don't let anybody. So, and number 6 is a little bit harsh, but I will discipline the dog if he gets distracted, even if it is your fault. So that's why there's a sign, and that's why we educate in these scenarios, and one-on-one if we can. But and I only discipline him because I believe it has to be black and white for him. So if I don't want him being pet by people or going up to people, I'll make sure that he knows that by disciplining him. So even if it is your fault, your ignorance, or your lack of being able to read his sign or listen to my commands. Number 5 is that we are constantly training Every single day we go out, it's a training exercise. At least that's how I view it. Even if it's the same walk we've done 100 times, it's a training opportunity. And I compare it to like a doctor's practice. They're practicing to get better for the next person, practicing to get better for the next day. He's constantly training to get better for the next day, for the next adventure, for the next walk. So you wouldn't interfere with a canine unit in a police unit to with their training, or you wouldn't even interfere with like a hunting dog. Maybe training to flush out deer. So just because our training happens more in the public eye doesn't mean that it is okay for you to interfere with that training. So number 4 is a story I heard a while back about an individual that couldn't leave the dog alone. He was told, or she was told by the handler not to pet the dog, and her hand was actually physically removed from the dog by the handler. And then she decided it was okay to talk to the dog and got into the dog's face, and the dog smelt her breath and was a bit excited by, let's say, the tuna salad she had for lunch. I don't know what it was. But anyways, got the dog excited, and the dog lunged to lick, not in an aggressive manner or a fearful manner, just in a playful manner, knocked the woman over, and the woman ended up suing the handler. So I don't even know if there's truth to that story, but I did hear it, and it's been in the back of my mind, and it wouldn't surprise me. You know, nothing would surprise me, and just it would make me lose faith in humanity. But it's always in the back of my mind, and there's another reason that I don't let people pet him, and another reason it's not okay to talk to the dogs as well, actually. So 3 is because you might not know that I was fighting with him to get him into his down position, or get him underneath the table, or get him right where I want him. So when a waitress walks up to a table, this is a story that actually happened to me, and sees a dog and all but climbs underneath the table to pet him, the dog is either afraid or excited and jumps up, and now I have to do that all over again. So that's just frustration, and it's ignorant, and it's not fun, actually, you know. So number 2 is something that I can only speak for when it comes to my puppy here. But we as handlers spend every waking and sleeping moment right next to our dog, and we know our dogs. And I can tell you that he doesn't want you to pet him when he's in harness. He wants you to come over and play with him in the backyard when the harness is off, but we're out. He wants to get it right. He wants to make sure that he's doing a good job, because he loves his job. He loves it. And he does a very good job at it. He wants to be pet by me, again, me talking to him through my pets, or communicating through my pets, but he doesn't want to hear your verbal praise. He wants to hear it from me. He wants to know that he's doing a good job for me. So he doesn't want you to pet him. If he's eyeballing you, it's because he's trying to figure out how to get around you. If he's eyeballing you, he's trying to figure out if you're a threat to us, you know? So he's just making sure. He's not eyeballing you with his cute little puppy face because he wants to be pet. So and that's only, I can only speak for my dog. I think a lot of handlers would agree with me, but we just go from there. So, and the number 1 reason is kind of a culmination of everything, kind of everything put together. I'm going to tell a quick story, and the number 1 reason is because you can actually put us in physical harm, not put us in the way of physical harm. Not only myself, but also my daughter, and even the dog you're adoring. So if you distract the dog, which actually happened with a friend of mine, we came to a curb, and across the street, a friend of mine, she saw the dog, and she clapped, and she said, "Mac." And Mac ignored his training and went into the middle of the street because he wanted to go talk to my friend, who he's very familiar with and actually had seen earlier that day. That could have went a lot worse. I live in a very slow-moving town, and we were on not a street that has heavy traffic, so we walked out and it wasn't a big deal. But a lot of these dogs end up in cities, and that could have ended differently, you know. So whether it be my daughter, myself, or Mac himself getting hurt, luckily he didn't, and we know how to deal with those scenarios because even our perfectly trained puppies make a mistake now and again. So and 99.9% of the time he won't. And that's the only experience I've had with him that was to that caliber of negativity. But you can imagine how clapping or snapping or hooting or hollering at the dog could distract them, excite them, and cause physical harm to the handler. Even if you're not next to a road, there could be a branch sticking out in the middle over the sidewalk. You could be close to the side of the sidewalk and you could step off, break an ankle. That I've definitely heard of happening. So that's our top 10 list. I broke it down from like 27 or 28 different reasons as to not to pet our working dogs. I think it holds true for all working dogs, not just guide dogs or seeing eye dogs like Mac. And I mean, there's 1,000 other ones. I've heard of allergies taking place. Somebody not listening, and then the dog licking some kind of lotion off of somebody's hand and having an allergic reaction. So, and I'm sure if you have any of the questions, go ahead, comment on the bottom. I'll try to answer them. And if you're a handler yourself, throw a couple other reasons out there, actually. So, you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. I do think it's supposed to snow this weekend, so stay warm. So, say bye, buddy.
Say bye.
You're a good boy.